Welcome to today's episode of Tech Talk Unplugged. I'm excited to dive into a topic that is not only changing how we code, but is also democratizing software development at an unprecedented scale, all thanks to AI. Yep, we're talking about GitHub Copilot and how it's redefining the way developers approach their craft. So let's start with a relatable scenario, shall we? Imagine you're a software developer staring at your computer screen with a blank line of code waiting for inspiration to strike. You feel the pressure of looming deadlines, and you just wish there was a magic helper who could suggest code snippets and even write parts of your program for you. Well, it turns out that magic helper is not so far-fetched anymore. GitHub Copilot is AI-powered and serves as a coding assistant that does just that. It can suggest entire lines of code and functions as you're typing, making coding feel less like climbing a mountain and more like a collaborative journey. Doesn't that sound exciting? Now you might be wondering, how does it work? It uses machine learning to analyze vast amounts of code from public repositories. By understanding patterns, Copilot can predict what you might need next. So, it's almost like having a coding buddy who knows all the languages and frameworks. Pretty cool, right? Let's ponder this for a moment. As helpful as it is, what does this mean for the future of programming? Will developers become entirely reliant on AI, or will it enhance their creativity? I think it opens doors for innovation. Just think about it. Developers could spend more time problem-solving and coming up with creative solutions instead of piecing together repetitive code. Now, GitHub has also emphasized security with Copilot. In an age where vulnerabilities are rampant, having an assistant that can help spot potential security flaws as you write code is pretty invaluable. Imagine writing a function and getting a prompt that says something like, "Hey, have you thought about the security implications of this?" That's a game changer. But it doesn't stop there. GitHub offers various tools for enhancing the collaboration process. Features like code reviews and discussions mean that instead of working in isolation, developers can engage in a community-driven approach. This collective knowledge can lead to safer coding practices and give new developers a much-needed boost. And speaking of community, did you know that GitHub also supports developers through programs like GitHub Sponsors? This initiative lets users fund open-source developers directly, which is pretty inspiring. It creates an ecosystem where developers can thrive while contributing to the greater good of the coding community. All right, let's wrap this up. If there's one takeaway I want you to have, it's this. GitHub Copilot, along with the broader tools offered, not only streamlines coding, but it's also fostering a global community of developers who can learn from each other while pushing the boundaries of innovation. So, whether you're an experienced coder or just starting, I encourage you to explore these tools. You might find that coding becomes less about solitary struggles and more about collaborative victories. Thanks for tuning in to Tech Talk Unplugged. Keep an eye out for our next episode, where we'll discuss how AI tools are transforming yet another industry. Until then, happy coding, and remember to never stop learning.